Hello. Today we are going to explore the 2017 breaches involving Deloitte and Accenture, two of the largest professional services firms in the world. So here's a quick disclaimer. The entities affected by the cyber breach have not disclosed all the details of the incident publicly and will likely not do so in the future. However, sufficient information is available online and within the cybersecurity community to infer the probable events during the breach. While efforts have been made to ensure the accuracy of the information provided, the presenter assumes no responsibility for its accuracy or for the consequences of its use. This case study is adapted from the 2017 Deloitte and Accenture breaches, utilizing information from public sources and modified for educational purposes. For further details, please refer to the additional resource provided in this presentation. So here's some README information. As far as learning objectives, describe the key events and impacts of the Deloitte and Accenture breaches of 2017, explain the vulnerabilities that were exploited by the attackers in these breaches, and list potential defenses and best practices that could prevent similar attacks in the future. So Deloitte is one of the largest accounting firms in the world, renowned for its extensive professional services network. Although headquartered in the UK, Deloitte's operational headquarters are based in New York. Deloitte has been ranked number 1 in Gartner's security consultancy rankings for 11 consecutive years, a testament to its reputation in the field. For more information about Deloitte, you can visit their official website, which is listed here. In 2017, it was revealed that over 5 million internal documents from Deloitte were leaked, many of which contained sensitive information. The breach is believed to have started as early as October of 2016, although Deloitte did not become aware of it until March 2017. Despite the severity of the breach, Deloitte initially downplayed its impact, which raised concerns about transparency within the organization in the aftermath of cybersecurity incidents in particular. So 6 months after the breach was discovered, a collection of Deloitte's corporate VPN passwords, usernames, and operational details were found in a public-facing GitHub repository. Additionally, it was uncovered that Deloitte employee had uploaded company proxy login details to a public Google Plus page. These findings highlighted significant lapses in Deloitte's internal security practices, especially considering their position as a leading security consultancy. So, as far as lack of best practices go, the industry best practices dictate that all sensitive resources should be protected behind a firewall and secured with two-factor authentication. And the irony of this situation is that these are the very practices that Deloitte would likely recommend to its clients, and yet they fail to implement them internally. Despite their top ranking in security consultancy, Deloitte's internal use of platforms like Google Plus and GitHub for sensitive data storage demonstrates a troubling disconnect between their recommendations and their own practices. So Accenture is a Fortune 500 company, a global management consulting and professional services company. The firm provides strategy consulting, digital technology, and operation services serving clients worldwide. Accenture has been incorporated in Dublin, Ireland since 2009 and reported a net revenue of $34.9 billion in 2017, with over 425,000 employees across 100 countries. Accenture's 2017 breach involved the exposure of its business data in a public Amazon S3 bucket. The data incident exposed sensitive internal information, including private keys, secret API data, and more. The unsecured Amazon S3 bucket was discovered by researchers at UpGuard, who privately reported the issue to an Accenture in 2017. Unfortunately, the company was able to resolve the issue within a day, but the incident underscores the growing risk of misconfigured cloud storage. According to a report published by UpGuard, Accenture left at least 4 cloud-based storage servers unsecured and publicly downloadable. This exposed sensitive data, including API authentication details, decryption keys, and customer information. This breach serves as a stark reminder of the importance of properly configuring cloud storage and also the risks associated with mismanagement. So that leads us to who are the attackers. There are several types of attackers involved in cyber breaches, each with different motivations and also methods. Organized crime typically seek profit by selling stolen data, conducting fraud, and holding data or systems for ransom. Hackers for hire offer their services to the highest bidder, including selling malware and exploiting vulnerabilities. And then there's the nation states. Nation states often engage in cyber espionage or try to sabotage for political gain or economic advantages, while competitors may seek to steal trade secrets. And then there are hacktivists. Hacktivists attack to further political or social causes, while researchers, often with benign intentions, explore vulnerabilities to understand security weaknesses. So, common causes. Data breaches often stem from several key factors, including missing patches or updates, misconfigurations of systems, and also human errors. Constant patching and vulnerability scanning are critical to addressing known vulnerabilities. And systems should be hardened and aligned with security benchmarks in order to prevent exploitation. Applying the principle of least privilege and whitelisting access can minimize the risk of unauthorized access. Educating users on best security practices is absolutely essential to reducing the likelihood of breaches caused by human error. So, phishing attacks can often start with an attacker sending a malicious email to a user. If the user clicks on the link, they may be redirected to a fake login page, where then the attacker can capture their credentials. Implementing spam filters, web filters, and user training can help prevent users from falling victim to these phishing attacks. Once attackers have the valid login credentials, they can gain access to the network, making further attacks possible. So APTs often involve multiple stages, including privilege escalation, data theft, and exfiltration. Using multi-factor authentication, privilege account management, and intrusion monitoring can help detect and limit the impacts of APT. And in the event of a breach, a well-defined incident response plan is crucial to mitigate damage and also initiate recovery. So follow general best practices. So to protect against breaches, organizations should focus on patching and hardening their systems, educating their users, and applying the principle of least privilege. It's essential to understand your systems and be aware of their vulnerabilities to implement effective controls. And implementing controls to block different stages of common attacks is key to a strong defense. And organizations should reference the CIS, critical security controls, and the MITRE attack matrix to guide their security strategies. How did the lack of best practices contribute to the Deloitte breach, and what lessons can be learned regarding internal security measures? In the context of the Accenture breach, how can organizations manage cloud storage and security to better prevent against data leaks? What are the primary types of attackers involved in cyber breaches, and how do their motivations and methods differ? How can organizations effectively respond to phishing attacks and advanced persistent threats, also known as APTs, to better protect their networks and the data? Here are some of our sources, and thank you for listening today. Bye-bye.